Welcome back, everybody. Hey, this is Bill Mossart, and we're back on the wrong day of the week. It's Sunday. It's not Saturday. It's Sunday. And look, I have sound. I'm not muted. I'm so professional. I hope everybody's doing good. I hope everybody had a good Saturday. We kind of spent 2 weeks in a row doing shows, doing a few different conventions. Living out of a suitcase. So I'm a little disheveled. I'm a little bit disorganized, but it's all good. I made it back, and we're all good. All right, let's see who's in the room with us real quick. I got some blank sheets of paper here. I've got a couple extra sketches that we're just going to do a low cost little cheapy auction at the end of the show with these guys, but we're gonna work on our normal artwork for the night and see what cool stuff we come up with. Kevin, what's up, dude? Kevin says something about the splash page is wrong. It's today's. I know. I put up the thumbnail. It still says Saturday on it. That's how disorganized and not ready I am today. But it's okay. It's okay. It'll be true by the time next week comes. Some person in the room. How you doing, man? Glad you're hanging out with us today. That's cool. I think Bill's trying to trick us into thinking he's not late. Yes, that was my evil plan from the beginning. My flux capacitor of plans. I know, right? Ken, what's up, dude? Ken says hello to everyone. That's awesome, awesome. I mean, evening, gents. I know, right? Don't break up a tradition, dude. You gotta keep the class coming. Gotta keep it classy. Kevin says, welcome, welcome. Awesome. Nothing gentle here, just us pervs. So how's everyone doing tonight? I hope everybody's doing good. I hope everybody we had a show yesterday in Richmond, so it's not too far away from where I live. It's like a 2-hour-ish drive from here. But earlier in the week we had to do about 40 hours worth of driving up to Indiana, and then the week before that we were doing another show that was a few hours away. A lot of road stuff, a lot of traveling around. Kevin says, so how long do you think there will be no sound tonight? I know. I was looking to be sure. I looked at the mic. I looked at the button. I looked at the thing. Very professional. I know. It took me 5 minutes last time. Kevin says, just trying to relax a little before I pack for Comic-Con. I know Comic-Con, San Diego is right around the corner. I'm really bummed out that I cannot go, but this is like the first show minus COVID. This will be the first show that I'm purposely missing since like 1992. Since San Diego is like my pilgrimage every year, so it's I always try to make it out to San Diego. So, but you guys have a good time. I'll be there in spirit. I'm already planning on going next year, making sure I'm not going to miss any more. So it's all good. Paul, what's up, dude? I'm glad you're hanging out with us, man. That's awesome. Awesome. Very, very cool. Glad you like the artwork. I'm glad you're here hanging out. Yeah, dude, it's like Paul, and for anybody else who's joining us for the first time, maybe you haven't popped into the chat yet. We usually do these on Saturday. So Saturday, 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. We usually get together. We toss around some ideas. We come up with some sketches. And then at the end of the show, which is usually around midnight, we auction off the artwork to one lucky winner, and then we do it all over again. So it's a lot of fun. It's a good bit of weekend art fun for us. Mighty Geek, what's up, dude? Mighty Geek says, so far so good. I know. I have sound. I am soundboarded. Kevin says, sound, glorious sound. Sunday. You pay for the whole seat, but you'll only need the edge. I'm practicing my radio voice for later. Maybe I'll do it as a second job later on. Ken says, I know, sound from the start. I know. I'm impressive. I got sound from the start. Ken says, I don't know what that is. Paul, there you go. Ken says Paul. Ken is saying hi to Paul. Very cool. Very cool. Super Boober Girl. I know. Well, Superman was kind of the theme of the last week or two, right? So saw the movie, enjoyed the movie. I thought everything is cool. I'm kind of looking forward to seeing where it goes from here. Kevin says, "How much have you had to drink tonight?" Oh, at 10, of course. He is our resident party host. Ken says the S should be a negative space. So it could very well be. I see Kevin says, "Oh, I know. Leave tonight up to Courtney to decide what the sketch will be." I know. Yeah, it'd be cool. It'd be cool for Courtney to participate. Indeed, I like the group that we're growing together. This is a cool group. I love getting together with you guys. Now, Kevin says, "I know. Leave tonight." Oh, I just read that. See, I'm not professional. All over again. Some person saying hello. Thanks, dude. Paul says, "Oh, Final Fantasy and Supergirl. Wow, thank you so much, dude. I'm glad you're digging it." Yeah, these are just, these are actually two sketches that I had in the portfolio. I had them up at my table. I just wanted to bring a couple extra sketches from the show, and we'll auction these off at the end of the night too. Maybe just we'll do like a little special auction for these guys, like a couple of bucks or whatever, and you can get it like an inexpensive little piece of art. That'll be nice. Maybe I'll, if it goes for a little bit more than what I'm thinking, then maybe I'll actually ink the Supergirl. Maybe I'll throw that in. I think maybe I'll do it as a set. We'll auction them both off as like a little extra bonus for the evening. That would be kind of cool. Kevin says Supergirl is learning from Power Girl. Yes, the boob window. Paul says, "I was there, dude. Richmond, then Fredericksburg before." Oh, I know, dude. I know. The two sketches, the two sketch covers that you got was awesome, awesome, awesome. We had so much fun with those, and the ones that Kat drew were awesome too. I think she actually drew those sketch covers a little bit better than I did. I think she's beating me, dude. She's the 2.0. She is the 2.0, the upgrade. Ken says, "Not enough, Kevin." Some person says you could start a mouse con. We were kind of thinking about doing something online, doing a little special stream or something during San Diego Comic-Con as kind of a way for us to be there in spirit, as it were, right? So since we can't actually go to the show, maybe we will have a little mouse con here at the old mouse house. Kevin says, "Boo, you need to be here." But Tom can make up for it a little bit in your absence. Yes, Tom is representing for sure. He's going to have a Nira X representation at the show for us. So that's awesome. Ken says, "I don't get this XP crap at the top of the chat." I don't know what that means. I don't know that there is an XP at the top of it. I don't know what that means. I don't see that on my window, so I'm not really sure. I'm gonna have to take a look at it. I'll take a look at it after the show, so that we could actually look at it and try and figure it out. If somebody in the chat knows what that means up there, maybe you can help us out a little bit. Kevin says, "I think it's just a way for your boob tube to gain the interaction with the stream." I do know that if anybody is watching us directly from one of our Facebook streams, it's always better and it's synced up a whole lot better in the chat if you join us on our YouTube channel, which would be awesome because you guys can give us a like and hopefully a subscribe on our YouTube channel. So that way, I kind of grow by a couple more people. That'd be awesome. I'd like you guys to be a part of it. I'd like to hang out with you guys. Ken says, Courtney might be dropping in, but I got a couple of ideas though. This is good. This is good. As soon as I catch up at the end of the chat here, hopefully we'll start tossing in some ideas. So Griff Tony, thanks for hanging out with us, dude. he's like, "Yo, dude, where is my dog?" Thanks for watching my dog, bitch. Okay, that line only makes sense if you saw the movie. I'm sorry. Spoiler. Well, it has been 2 weeks. It has been 2 weeks. I didn't say anything else about the news. I suppose that's good. Yes, Kevin says, "Now, how did I go down a level?" Some person saying hello. Awesome. Let's see if you ever get another. Do you could name him Fluffle? If I get another dog. Actually, Cat already has a name picked out for dog number 2, which will be interesting if that happens. We'll see. Waffle needs a little dude to play with while we're working in the studio, so he's not bored. He needs somebody to get into trouble with in the background. So we'll see what happens. She's got a name picked out. I'll reveal that. Maybe she might show up a little bit later. She said she was going to bring me a bite to eat a little bit later. She's tired from the show too, so she's like unpacking and stuff downstairs. Niobe, what's up, dude? Niobe says, word. Niobe is a punk rocker. Hell yeah. I'm glad you're hanging out with us, dude. That's awesome. Always like saying hi to Larry. Hey, some person says hello to Niobe Gaming. Hell yeah. Mighty Geek says Nira X and Scorpion. Oh, we're starting to throw the ideas. Let's see, how much further down do I have to go to catch up? Oh, there you go. I'm getting caught up. I'm almost current. I'm almost current with the chat. Nira X and Scorpion could be it is kind of a Mortal Kombat week, isn't it? A little bit of a Mortal Kombat week. Nobody says, yo, ma'am, where is my dog? Kevin says, you mean the portfolio I won't be able to raid this year? Yes, unfortunately. Yeah, I won't be there to have the portfolio raided. I'm bummed out about the show, but I know you're going to be there. I'll be there in spirit as best I can. Some person says hello to Kat, who must be sleeping from all the cons. Yeah, we're exhausted, dude. Exhausted. It's a lot of fun, though. Christy Hand in the house. Hey, what's up, dude? Saying hello to all. Glad you're here, dude. That's awesome. Saying hello back and forth. Hey, some person, right back at you. Christiane says, if we get enough XP, do we get a character class upgrade option? Maybe become a rogue? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what that XP means up there. I'm not sure. It's an upgrade of some kind. Christiane says a Savage Land rogue. All right, so we got some ideas. I'm gonna jot it down. Savage Land rogue. But we're also talking about maybe a Nira X and a Scorpion. We're going to see what kind of sticks. We'll see what the paper gods, what kind of direction the canvas leads us in. See what ideas stick. Kevin says, let me guess, something with Mercy. Niobe says, I am a Griff Tony. I was in the wrong account. Oh, okay. Got you. So we now know the real Niobe Larry. Yes. I'm glad you're here, dude. Side account or main account? It's good. I'm glad you're here, dude. Let's see. Paul says, I had no idea how much stuff you have done in the industry. I just ordered a Nira action figure from eBay. Oh, that's awesome. I'm glad you found those on there. Yeah, there's Nira X action figures on eBay. And I'm not sure if there's still Mercy and Allura action figures on eBay also. We did a bunch of action figures back in the 90s. The 90s were like magic, dude. We're doing so many different things. So fun. Paul says, cat naming the dog. I see what you did there. That's true. This is true. Cat names the dog. Beaverin, what's up? Glad you're hanging out with us. Waffle and syrup. Those two names would go together. Yes. I'm going to leave that up there. I'm going to leave it up there because who knows? Who knows what Kat's going to say? I would reveal the name that Kat said, but I think I'll have her reveal it. I'll have her reveal it since she's going to be possibly getting the second dog. Let's see. Kevin says, I think we need an anime Nira to encounter her normal self. That could be a good idea. I'm going to write that down. I'm going to write down these ideas and see which one sticks. We're going to see which one sticks. Christy Hen says, let's see, an anime Nira. Okay. We got 2 for anime Nira. This is cool. Could be an anime Nira with Scorpion, or could be a Savage Land Rogue behind anime Nira. We got 2 votes for anime Nira already. Let's see. Christy Hen says, like her looking into a mirror, maybe. Looking at her normal self, possibly. That would be fun. That would be a lot of fun, actually. Ken says, damn, I had a good idea written down and now I can't find it. It's like, oh, shit. Paul says, the Richmond Con was really slow, wasn't it? I hope all the vendors did okay. Yeah, I do hope the vendors did okay. It was the show was a little bit slower than what we're used to. It was a first-time show. So it was like the first time in that location, first time advertising that area for that specific kind of show. So I'm really, really excited about seeing it grow. So we'll still plan on doing it again next time because I really do think that it'll grow. I just think that it's because it's a first time show that it started out a little bit slow. but I think it's going to grow. I think it's going to do good. Let's see here. Slave Leia is always a good idea. There you go. I'll write that down real quick because who knows if we get more votes for a Slave Leia type of piece. Kevin says, just type it out, Ken. Ken says, I can't remember it. Kevin says, the party has affected your memory. Let's see. Niobe says, if I had the cash on me, I will bid on Supergirl. But soon we will do art for Niobe. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that, dude. Super, super looking forward to that. And plus, you never know. It's like the bidding on these two sketches might be just a couple of bucks. We're gonna do this after our normal sketch, and then this one's gonna go for, who knows? It might go for $5. It might go for $10. We'll see what happens. But I'm definitely looking forward to doing the variant cover with you, dude. That's gonna be awesome. Beaverin says Nira X a la Mirror Mirror. All right, we got a couple more votes for the anime Nira possibly looking at herself in a mirror. I like this idea. I like how that's coming out. All right, I'll set this up like this. I got my pencil that Ken got me from Japan. He went to the Japan to get me this pencil. And it's actually been treating me quite well. Thank you, good sir. Always very happy to use this pencil. All right, so that's what is sticking in the moment. Let me do my best to catch up with get to the bottom of the chat real quick, and then we'll see where we're going. Mighty Geek says Near X might have a problem with Frost. This could be good. A little Emma Frost action. Beaverin says small town cons are so much better. I really enjoy the smaller shows because people come out to collect art and they're there for comics. And there's always a couple of celebrities and a couple of people to get autographs from, but it's not like the big energy, like like a larger show where there's like a little bit too much going on all at once. Small shows are a lot of fun. You really get to spend some time talking to people too, and actually getting to know some people. So it's nice. Pete Vasquez, hey, good morning to you, good sir. Is that a drunken Jawa? Yes, it absolutely is. And we're gonna auction it off. We're at the end of the show, we're gonna auction off our main drawing for the evening, and we're gonna have a second little auction for this guy. So a drunk Jawa and a Supergirl pencil. And so at midnight we're gonna auction off all of these little pieces here. We'll make sure that is good. Let's see. Kevin says, just no agonizers will be involved. The pleasure probably would be a nice thing for Mirror Mirror. I know, we don't want the agonizers. I don't want to be in pain. Ooh, let's see. Why is it not clicking? Oh, really? Did it get stuck? There you go. Okay, some person was saying hello. That's cool. My mouse is not clicking. What is up with that? Pete says, I'll bid for you, Larry. That's cool. That's cool. That's what I'm talking about. It's a group effort. I like it. Kevin's saying, good evening. Naomi says, what would you charge to ship it to Canada? That's actually a good question. I actually have to look at what the last thing I shipped to Canada was, because I think the last time I shipped a regular box to Canada, it was somewhere in the neighborhood of like $35, $40, somewhere in that neighborhood. But I could double check to make sure what the rates are, because I don't want you to spend more than it actually costs to ship it up there. Paul says, do you do the Richmond Comic Con by the same promoter as yesterday's? Yes. Yeah, I do. It's by Incredible Conventions. So the same promoter. I do those are the shows that we actually have really started adding to our list, is all the shows by Incredible Conventions. So that is a yes. The short answer to that question is yes. Let's see. Ken says, you're welcome, dude. Awesome. Courtney says, hey, by the way, Courtney, thanks for hanging out with us. I'm glad you're here. That's awesome. Let's see. Courtney says, hi, all. I actually asked Ken before if you've done Nira as Slave Leia. See, Nira X as Slave Leia. Let's see. I'll put a little an X next to the Slave Leia idea. If we have enough time, maybe we could do both ideas. We never know. Let's see. Kevin says, an arm and a leg. Huh? I know, right? Pete says, Bill, I was on the Naibi show when you were, and I forgot to ask, will you be at New York Comic Con this year? It'll be my 12th year as an artist on the main floor. Unfortunately, I will not be at New York. I haven't been to the New York show now in a couple of years. I want to say since COVID, I haven't been to New York, and we did it. We were always at New York. I miss New York. We did it for probably like maybe 8 or 10 years in a row, and since COVID, we haven't gone back to Artist Alley yet. But I'm hoping to add it to the list at some point soon in the next year or two, because that would be fun. I love doing the New York show. Let's see. Kevin says, I think he has done that in the past, Courtney, but Bill will always do her again. Yes. Paul says, small shows are about the comics, really. Yeah, I totally agree. Absolutely, 100%. Pete says, I want the Jawa. Awesome, dude. Well, we're definitely going to auction it off at the end of the show, along with whatever drawing this is going to end up being, which is kind of a draw between Anime Nira looking at regular Nira or doing a Slave Leia Nira. So we'll see how many comments we get one way or the other before I get started here. And I'm going to get started here really soon. And then I might fall behind in the chat, but I'll do my best to catch up. Ken says maybe Slave Leia and Slave Malka complaining about Jabba. Naomi says, well, they were drinking together. The Jaws and the Soups. That's true. Oh my God, that's right. They're both drunk. Technically. Good. That's a good catch. Good catch, dude. Kevin says we need Jawas. Jawas meeting Jaws. Red Sun Planet Bar. Yep. Christopher Bouchard, what's up, dude? Glad you're hanging out with us, man. Says, hello, Bill. How are you? I'm doing good. I'm tired from all the conventions, but I'm glad that we're able to do the show tonight. So this is cool. I'm glad that we can relax together for a few minutes. Kevin says Malka needs the Ula fishnet outfit. Paul says Star Wars. I thought that was a Final Fantasy Black Mage. Yeah. No, that's true. It kind of has the same vibe, right? No, but it's a drunk Jawa. I like to draw like inebriated Jawas. It's kind of a sport for me. Naomi says it won't cost that much to ship the art. Okay, that's cool. But I'll definitely look up like the size of, because I ship them like in small pizza boxes. So I'll look up the size and the weight, because I could look up the actual cost on the website. We print up our postage right here in the studio, so I'll be able to look it up. Let's see. Pete says before COVID, I was doing 40 shows a year as an artist. All shows are dope. It's subjective. People like what they like, and a person may hate a big show, but somehow, someone else would like it. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. All shows have positives and negatives. I love doing them all. It's like San Diego is my favorite show, but granted, I get to visit a lot of people that I know, and most of the time I'm behind my table, but I get to see a lot of cool stuff. I love the San Diego show. It's huge. I mean, it's so huge, but I have a really good time at the small shows too. Christopher saying hello. Awesome. Paul says, come on, people know politics on here, especially Star Wars. Christopher says, how about a hot Supergirl artwork? Always a good idea. Ken says Slave Leia, Slave Malka could be on a coffee break and complaining about their boss. Some person says maybe a Delta Void Jabba. That's kind of cool. I like that. Let's see. I'm picturing an Adam Hughes cover where Lois was interviewing Wonder Woman. I think I remember that cover. I love Adam Hughes stuff. Adam Hughes artwork is always awesome. All right. So we've had a couple of Slave Leia ideas. We've had a couple of Anime Nira ideas. Let's get started. Let's get started on the actual sketching, and we shall see what we shall see. Now, we'll stick with the normal plan that we usually have for the artwork, which is I'm going to do the pencil layout, and then when, let me find a piece of inked artwork here. Find something that's already finished. There we go. So I'm going to do the pencil, but after the artwork is, when it gets auctioned off, the piece that you're going to receive is going to be fully inked, like a finished piece. So I just wanted to show you something that was finished as an example, so that way you didn't think that you were going to get just the rough pencil. So you know what? We're going to try our best. We're going to use our time here, and we're going to see about doing an Anime Nira, looking at a normal Nira in the mirror. That's the one we'll do first. And then we're going to do a second one. We're going to do a slave Leia, but Nira X as a slave Leia. I think that's what got the most votes in the chat so far as we were going along here. So let's start roughing this out. Got an anime in here. She's going to be very surprised about how she looks in the mirror. So let's give her a nice surprise look. And for those watching for the first time, is like some of the sketches a little rough because we're going to tighten it up later when we do all the inks, right? So just to let you know how things usually go. And then afterwards too, sometimes we do some mods, and we'll post full color versions of the artwork on our secret Patreon page. So we have a secret Patreon page that we like to put our spicier artwork on. And it's called Club Corrupt. And let's see, I'll put up the little banner for it real quick, just so you guys know where it is. There we go. Now, if it's a safe for work image, now the Club Corrupt is our corrupt it's our corrupt page. So we put a lot of our not safe for work images up on there. But if it's a safe for work image, I'll make it a public post, so that way you don't have to be behind the paywall or have to pay to get in. If it's a general audience post, I'll put it up there. Plus, I share it on my other socials too. But if it happens to be a not safe for work post, then what we like to do is we post it on our secret Patreon page. Let me see where I was at here real quick. I know. Adam Hughes. Very cool. Some person says anime Nira, so bigger eyes and boobs. Yes, absolutely. And tentacles. There might be some tentacles. She is anime. Bigger is breastier. Oh, we're going to do, some person's asking which anime. So I'm just going to do Nira X as what Nira X would look like as an anime. Ken says, haven't seen anime Nira since back in the day. I know, right? I missed that one. It was a fun one shot. It was her and Delta Void. Let's see. Kevin says tentacles are always needed when it comes to anime. I agree. Ken says, hey, you're back here. You're back to number one, Kevin. Kevin says, that's why I suggested her something different but familiar. Kevin says, I'm number one. And I have more XP. Ken says, and I feel like I'm a number two. No. Show them a not safe for work image. Show them. Let's see. Some person is sharing my normal website. There you go. Thank you, dude. I appreciate you sharing the link. I need that help. Very, very cool. Ken says you should totally have Solace in the background, all mad and stuff. All right, so let's get the general layout for how Nira is going to be here, looking in the mirror. And this would be a good way for me to kind of warm up a little bit too. So there you go. Shorten up that nose just a little bit more on the anime style. There we go. Just want to put a little surprised look on her face. Actually, speaking of surprise, I think her eyebrows need to be a little bit more surprised. Make sure her face has a cute little shape to it. And remember, we're going to tighten this up a whole lot more when we get to the inking. And you're a little cute. I'll probably give her, since she's like an anime version, I like to give her like a big ponytail. Let me get a little bit more of her face in here. Make sure she's nice and surprised. And then I'll catch up with the chat, see where you guys are at. Give her some big bangs. We're going to give her a big ponytail. I was thinking about giving her pigtails. Take up the old cute factor while she's being sexy. But I'm kind of used to seeing her. When I give her a ponytail, usually it's like the one big ponytail in the back. Hey Ken, you notice that my lead's not breaking so much. All right, we'll start that ponytail a little bit, and then I'm going to check out where the chat is at. All right, that's a good little start on there. All right, let me see. Ooh, I fell behind a little bit. Oh, it's actually not too bad. Here you go. Christopher Bouchard says, I'm number 0. No! Some person says, some anime tropes, futuristic motorcycles, robots, giant explosions, high school drama, very cute things. Yes. Kevin says, if Jack Shit is around, Solace won't be mad for long. I'm so glad you remember that character, dude. We had a lot of fun with that character. Ken says, you're number 1 in our hearts, Chris. Yeah, you know what? That's right. Courtney says, ever done Nira as Tomb Raider? That's awesome. That would be really cool. And honestly, Courtney, I love Tomb Raider, right? And I don't think I've drawn a Nira X as Tomb Raider piece yet. So please put a pin in that. Put a Post-it note on that one. We're going to have to revisit that one. Very, very cool. Let's see. Kevin says, I can't think of one Nira as Tomb Raider, but he's done some hot Tomb Raider images. Yes, I have. Yeah. I love Tomb Raider. Tomb Raider is awesome. Ken agrees. Ken also says, I don't think he's done Nira as Lara Croft. That's right. That's right. Christopher Richard says, thanks, buddy. Yeah, man. It's like we're a good group here, man. We support each other. We support each other here. You guys, this is our house. This is where we like to hang out. You guys are welcome here. Kevin says, now we can all imagine what's making her so surprised. And I don't think about tentacles. Ken says maybe an 80s side ponytail. Kevin says, Nira raiding a tomb looking for an orb of cyberplasm. I like where the ideas are going. All right, so these are going to be Nira's anime attributes. And we'll see. Once we get the character drawn, we'll see if we're going to keep on going in the direction of her looking at herself in the mirror, because she's looking at like her real self, or if we're going to be, or if we maybe we'll decide to put a different element in there with her. Like I already know there's going to be tentacles somewhere. That seems to be that seems to be the rule. There we go. Kind of shape that a little bit. Now, something else with the artwork, in case anybody's watching for the first time, when since the artwork is still in pencil, whoever wins the artwork at the end of the night, obviously we're going to ink it, right? So we still gotta ink the piece so that you're going to receive the black and white ink piece in the mail. But you can also request to make the artwork a little bit more not safe for work, or keep it just the way it is. For YouTube, obviously, we're going to have to draw it safe for work, so that's fine. But just to let you know that that option is there. Makes it fun to be able to do a mod. And usually making it not safe for work just means I'm probably ripping off more of her costume, like it's more battle damaged. So that way it ends up being more of a exciting piece. A little bit more action. So we can either rip off portions of her costume, or we can even like change up the costume a little bit, like turn it in from her Cyber Angel one piece that she usually wears, and like turn it into a bikini or something like that. All depends. All depends. Basically, you say like lean it more not safe for work, and then we'll let the paper gods decide how that's going to happen. All right, got her in a little bit of a action-y pose here. Something's going on. There you go. I'll make sure YouTube knows that she's got her bottoms on. Don't want nobody getting upset. There we go. All right, let me make sure I'm not falling behind on the chat here. Oh, I fell behind just a little bit. Let me see where we got. I see Kevin says gravity works weird in anime land. Ken says, so since it's anime, she totally is wearing a cheerleader or uniform, right? Oh, that could be a thing. That could absolutely be a thing. What do you think about that? Like a like kind of a school uniform kind of thing, like a school uniform skirt. That kind of sticks with that theme a little bit. Here we go. Let me put this leg like this real quick. That's a good idea. It's a good idea. Let's see what we'll do here. All right, so school uniform theme. All right, so I got a little bit of a school skirt here. Can still see what's going on there. And if it's a school uniform, so it's got to be that kind of plaid, kind of a plaid design on there, right? What do you think? Some thigh-high socks? Like, is she battling in a school uniform? There you go. Give her some fingernails. All right, there you go. Make sure her hands look nice and finished. Give her a little elbow. Okay, that's where that's at the moment. Let me catch up with the chat real quick. You said like a school, like a cheerleader uniform, and I was just like, we got to put that in right now. Let's see. Christopher says, I think next week it should be a hot Poison Ivy and Harley Quinn artwork, and I go see the Fantastic Four movie next Saturday. Actually, yeah. Well, you have to jump in the chat and remind me, and we'll see if that's what's gonna stick onto the paper. I think these are lots of good ideas. Some person says maybe someone Gooster, a perverted master. This is a possibility. Why? The second I think pervert, I'm thinking of Scribe from the book. Like he's always trying to get a peek at these girls. Let me see. I'm going to make sure I get the ponytail real huge. Mira's digging on her ponytail. Could be getting goosed by. Well, we were talking about tentacles earlier too, so she could be getting goosed by tentacles. You know what I mean? Like maybe like a big eyeball down here, like like a monster or something. You guys are painting lots of ideas in my head. All right. We got kind of a pervert monster down here. That's what's going on. We got an eyeball down here. It's like, where'd this monster come from? All right, we got a tentacle coming up this way. This is not Nira's best day on campus here, is getting attacked by a monster. Let me erase this line here. That way we know that the little tentacle arm's coming up and around. Oh, need a little bit more lead in the pencil. There we go. Crazy monster. Crazy tentacle monster. All right, Lacey. Kevin says, not safe for work is always the best way to go. Ken says, maybe she could have a San Romero Knights uniform a la Lollipop Chainsaw. It's a possibility. You know what? She's kind of pointing in that direction already, right? Like a Lollipop Chainsaw, kind of like cheerleader battle royale kind of thing here. Beaverin says, not safe for work equals boobies. Yeah, whoever wins it, you have the option of having things a lot more revealed. Oops, wait a minute, I didn't read that one. Kevin says, let's see, short skirt, thigh-high socks, blouse tied off under her boobs. Yeah, I like that idea. I like that idea. And Ken says ideally, yes. Okay, let's work on it. So we got the tight little skirt, kind of sort of exposed, and then we can have the shirt. Here we go. We want to have this shading right here because that's like the shiny shading from her old costume. So this way it looks more like skin. Got the wrinkles here. Get the shirt like this. Get the wrinkles, and then we have to have it tied off at the top here. Ah, that's a nice idea, guys. That's a nice idea. You know what? Maybe instead of the shirt coming up like that, because that would have been like her normal costume, she could be wearing like a little choker dealio. That way her shirt just kind of comes up to the shoulders. That's a good idea, guys. I like it. Yes. See, the piece has been transforming as the night has been evolving. Let's see. Kevin says, "I read that boobies as B008." I wonder what James Bond thinks about being just a lowly 007. Some person says, "I remember in Dragon Ball Z, the old guy is a pervert." Yes, yeah, he's edited to be clean in the American version. Yeah, but he's definitely the perv. He's definitely the perv. Master Hiroshi, I think. Yep. As Kevin says, Bill is reading my mind. Ken says she's battling against dress code standards constantly. Kevin says, "Damn it! Now that needs a tentacle." Right, Ken? Right, Bill Mouseheart? All right. Some person says in Rama half, there's another perverted master that uses his great abilities to steal panties. Ah, I have to look some of these guys up. I haven't been watching that one. Ken says Scribe is a straight up perv. Scribe is. Oh my god. Larry, he's back, slapping her ass. You know, in the full color version, we can have a mod where there's like a handprint. That would be dope. I wonder if I can. I don't think there's enough room for me to draw somebody over here. Let's see. What if I drew? Let me think here. Let me think. Get that mustache in here. I don't know if this guy's going to stay. I think what I need to do is look up the reference for the other guy from Dragon Ball. I'll look up his reference and I'll put him over here. So I think that would be much better. It's such a small space over here. Like all I can really fit is a hand. I can't fit like he's about to slap her butt. I can't do it. Let's see, put that little wrinkle on there like that. All right, we'll see about the hand slap. I'm not sure if I can fit it in. I got too close to the edge, and it's so tiny, right in that spot. Kevin says, "Damn it, Bill is reading my mind." Courtney says normal Nira pulling anime Nira by the necktie. Oh, that's kind of a cool idea. If this was, I already got it going like this, but this piece is definitely evolving. Yeah. Let's see here. Yeah, I think I got a little idea here. And I think Courtney has painted an idea in my brain. I gotta do this real rough so that way I can get the body positions in here first. And then I'll tighten it up. I think Nira is up to something. Here. Yeah, I think we got a good idea cooking here. I think this is good. There we go. I think Nira is taking anime Nira away. Okay, kind of rough in where her hair is going to go here. Almost got it. There we go. This was no small feat. And I'm not even drawing feet. This is Nira kind of see, I gotta fix that. I can't give her T-Rex arms. But we do want to have her enticing her along. I want to give her little signature Nira X gloves, so we know. I don't see Nira's delta on her face, so because she's turning the other way. There we go. Now we're talking. Just coming from off panel to take her anime Nira away. That was a good idea. All right, that took me a second to put that on there right, but that's good. That's good. I like this idea. Good idea, Courtney. This is a good idea. Ken says that's an Ally McBeal level short skirt. Yes. Some person says, and those are mainstream anime. I haven't gotten into hentai. I know, right? Kevin says, hey, that's the Comic-Con eye. So that's where it goes during the rest of the year. Ken says, jelly. It's like, not slick enough to jelly. Not yet. Yeah, jelly's a whole different kind of tentacle. He's a lot more jelly. Some person says, if only Kat were here. She's the resident anime scholar. She is. She's the one that gets me into like whatever is actually current right now. So like, and the ones that she's got me watching aren't exactly like current. I'm like, I just started watching. Was it Dragon Slayer? No. Yeah, no. I'll remember in a minute. I forget all the titles. I'm an Akira, Voltron, Appleseed guy. I'm a Ghost in the Shell guy, so Demon Slayer. That's the one I'm watching now. Let's see. Ken says he's getting an eyeful and a half. One of the tentacles should be trying to untie her top. Yeah, I think there's room for that to be happening. This is good. Christopher says artwork looks fantastic. Thanks, dude. It's evolving quite well. Let's see. Paul says, was Zealot an inspiration for this character, or maybe this was the first? I believe both are from the first time period in early 90s. You know what? I've actually looked that up a few times because Zealot has a red costume like Nira X does and the white hair. And we literally came out the same year and everything. Nira's first appearance was like June, July 92. And which means I was probably working on that book probably February of 92. And Zealot came out only a month or two later. I mean, it's not like there was any way on earth they knew what I was doing and I didn't know anything about what they were doing. It was just pure coincidence. But they both ended up on the comic shop shelves in stores at just about the exact same time. But yeah, I was looking that up too, just because they're very similar. You got the white hair and the red costume. Totally good call, good catch. That's a good catch. Let's see. Kevin says those big anime boobs are making that top look smaller than normal. Ken says she got them Malka boobs. LOL. Yes. Those are official Cyber Angel boobs, by the way. They're copyrighted. They're trademarked in several countries. Some person says there's another way to fit him. He's grasping onto her butt. That's a possibility. That is a possibility. What is that guy's name again? I'm gonna look up a reference for his face. That way I don't have to scroll back up. Let me see because if I scroll back up, I'll get lost. Somehow shrunk in size. Kevin says, see, I like how Courtney thinks. Encourage her devious nature whenever possible. Yes. Let's see, holding on with his teeth. That would be good. Let me put the rest of this on here. There we go. That way we know that she's pulling on that. Ken says, so proud. Kevin says, that doesn't look like a tie, but now I'm seeing some fetish gear holding the other end of that leash. Let's see, let me catch up with you guys real quick. Let's see. Some person says there's a depravity quota to me. Yes, indeed. Ken agrees. Kevin says, now the reason for the anime Nira going, oh, is explained. Some person says that octopus has shown up a few times. He just wants to be friends. Chris says, will the tentacles be in the background too? I think so. I think I'm kind of waiting to see what other elements end up in the picture before I finish drawing some more tentacles. I think there's going to be more tentacles added into this. And I might add an extra tentacle or two even after the auction. We're gonna see how this comes together. Some person says, "Is that Courtney pulling the leash?" You can't even see like Nira's delta on her other cheek. Could possibly, if I change the hair a little bit, it could be Courtney. It could be Malka. It could be Malka pulling her. We could totally do that. You'll have to tell me. Let's see. Kevin says, with a little change, that could be. Oh, see. I was staring at the picture. I wasn't looking up at the screen. Kevin had the idea. Let me see here. Let me see here. Make some little augmentations here. Make some little augmentations to her hair. This could totally be Malka. This doesn't have to be Nero. This could be Malka. We have dark hair. So we'll have to change the glove a little bit to be more on theme with Malka. I'll give Malka some fingerless gloves. She has a different kind of armor theme going on with her character. So I'll kind of like carry that theme across her gloves a little bit since we can't see her whole body. Yeah, Malka's like, come here. with the choker that has TSOTG. Yes. Gotta have the theme. And armored underboob. Because that looks awesome. That's what I'm talking about. Yes. It's a good idea, guys. Good idea. Is good. Awesome. Let me see here. Let's see. Chris Dehan says Nira gets a space octopus for a pet? Question mark. In some stories, we have some special stories that are actually being worked on, where her space octopus is a whole different situation. That'll be a special issue. Ken says it could be ENX. Yeah, it could be ENX too because she's got the dark hair. That's a possibility. Ken says, but that would detract from the alternate universe thing. I see. It would take the theme away. But you're right, though. It still could be ENX. There we go. Just wanted to touch that up a little bit. Kevin says, where is Chet? It's like, I don't know. I don't know where Chet is tonight. Granted, he knows that we normally do it on Saturdays. But it's possible he could be working or something, or he could be watching from the shadows. Where are you, Chet? We know Chet is here somewhere. Some person says, I hear Dan is the current one. Ken says Robotech is the greatest of all time. Yes. Yeah, Robotech is my jam. Some person says it's a ghost and alien hunter anime. Oh, gotcha. Dan. That's okay. That's what Dan. I've never even heard of Dan. Is Dan 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 the actual Dan Dan Dan? I need to be more updated. Right now, it's like, shoot, I'm still catching up with Attack on Titan, and that's like fairly old. I mean, it's loved, but it's it's been around for a minute, and they finished the series. It's like I need to finish the whole thing. Kevin says, "Well, my basic idea has gone where I hoped it would, and far beyond." That's good, dude. That makes me happy. Some person says Hiroshi. Oh, okay. I'll look that up real quick. Do, 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 do. Okay, I see what you're talking about there. I'll see if I can do something. We'll see. We'll see. Let's see. Some person says I could be spelling that wrong. Yeah, I'm not getting like the dude, the perv dude, the old perv dude. But we've gone through so many ideas that we might be talking about different things at this point. I'm not really sure. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out as we go. Got a lot of good ideas on here right now. Let's see. Some person says anime girls got accessories that could be used to emphasize the form or add a gag. This is true. Ken says, now I'm interested in an anime malka. That actually would be sweet. That would be awesome. All right. Please remind me. Please remind me. Let's see. Kevin says Malka Z. If Nira gets an X, Malka needs a letter too. Damn it. I could go for that. Malka Z. I could go for that. Some person says magical girl Nira. Uh-huh. Ken says maybe Nira can have a TSOTG collar too. Oh, you know what? That would be fitting since she's being taken, right? She's being. I'll put it there as a note, so that way, when it gets drawn, that's a good idea. That's a good idea. See, Kevin says armored underboob. I dare say she's going to have a spectacular hit points. Some person says Nira. Oh, that's my pet octopus. He's always grabbing. Ignore him. Or was it Dan the Dan? I don't know the title. I don't know. Kevin says that Spate Octopus is just trying to lend her a tentacle. Nira, I see you don't have a beak. How do you eat? That's messed up. Let's see. Kevin says, oh, I just use my tongue a lot. Some person says, forgetting is good too. It's nature's editor. Yes. Armor Glitch, what's up, dude? Glad you're hanging out with us, man. That's awesome. You see what they're making me draw, man? You see what's happening here? Ken says, let's see, maybe it's like Dragnet. Very cool, very cool. All right, let's see what's happening here. All right, so we got possibly. Well, you know what? Because of the theming of Nira pulling Nira, this could very well be. You know what? If it was evil Nira, that would make a lot of sense. Okay, we're gonna make this evil Nira. You guys have convinced me. One reason is because we can really drive the point home that it's evil Nira. Because her delta actually goes on the other cheek anyway. She's looking this way. And by the way, I'm really excited about doing an anime Malka. So you guys have got to put a pin in that. Please remind me about that idea because that idea is too good to not do. It's like super sexy, but like super cute at the same time. It's like we basically have to do that. All right, we're gonna see if we can add a few more tentacles. And our timing is looking like really good. If we finish up like what the pencil is going to be for this, then we're going to have enough time for a Slave Leia piece right after this one. So I'm thinking this could be a good little double whammy for tonight. All right, the way that she's got her expression, I almost feel like I have to do this with her hand. Like she's like, oh, like, oh my. There we go. Little pretending surprise, little look. You guys had a lot of good ideas. This is awesome. I put a couple little drips on her skin because I couldn't help myself. I like this a lot. I like this a lot. I don't know. Leave her legs bare. We talked about putting like the thigh high stockings on there, like kind of like ripped up and stuff. What do you guys think about that? I think that might be the last element that we'll add to this one. Ken says, Dan. Glitch says, hit the like and subscribe. Please do. Please listen to Glitch. Por favor. Please. Hey, thanks so much, dude. Yeah, everybody had some really cool ideas. I mean, it started off one way, and we started getting some ideas and kind of changing things, and it's like it kept on evolving as the evening kept on going. So it's a very good time, very good time. Yeah, everybody, please hit the like button, and if you're not subscribed, please subscribe. That would also be awesome for me, and also for the group. I think it says something to the group that we're all like subscribed. Let's see, saying hello. That's awesome. Kevin says, TSOTG, the same old tingly. You fill in the G spot. Kevin says to Courtney, what do you say about the thigh socks, the thigh high socks? Yes, Courtney will be the deciding factor. Amriglitz says, yes, thigh ripped. Absolutely. Courtney says, ripped thigh highs. I like it. Okay, we got approval. We got approval. I love Courtney's ideas. Courtney's cool. All right, got to get a couple of good rips in there. Nice. Good idea, guys. I think the rest of this one is probably going to be like some little atmosphere, little framing. Really bring the piece home. Put some solids in there. Dude, that's awesome. Now that's a weekend piece right there. That's it. Ken says, should the thigh highs have like a repeating cutesy pattern? Possibly. Let's see. Kevin says, anime Nira. Oh, I go through so many thigh high socks this way. Now I think we're just about ready for the Slave Leia. I think we got to do some Slave Leia action now. I think that's going to be our second piece for the evening. But is it going to be, let's see, the way you guys had it set up from before, is it going to be Nira X as a Slave Leia, an extra buxomy Slave Leia? Let's see, Glitch is asking, hey, Bill, so when do you ink these up? Unfortunately, I have to ink them after the show, but I do let everybody know. Let me see, let me grab a sample real quick. I will grab a sample. Let me grab a sample that I've already like censored. Let me see here. Well, I guess I have to grab this one. I'm a little disorganized because I just got back from a convention, so I don't have things like right next to me. So this is what usually happens during the show. During the show, we toss around all of our ideas and we come up with the pencil sketch. Now, whoever wins the auction at midnight for whatever drawing we come up with for that particular episode, first of all, they will receive like an inked version. I'm going to ink it like tight, like this piece here. So the piece that you're going to receive in the mail is going to be the black and white, fully inked version of the artwork. And then also, you have the option of keeping the artwork just the way it is, which is technically safe for work, right? For YouTube and all that. Or you can ask me to kind of like push it a little bit more, not safe for work. So that's completely an option that's open to whoever wins the piece at the end of the night. So that's the way it usually goes. I would spend time inking it on the actual auction nights, but they take so long to ink that I think everybody would fall asleep. So that's why I do it. When I do live streams through the week and stuff like that, where we're not doing auctions, like, I'll take my time and just show people, like, inking and stuff like that. But during our Saturday, Sunday night things, we try to keep it so that we can actually kind of get through the artwork and you kind of get a good idea of what you're getting. I hope that answered your question. I tend to ramble, so I get to my point eventually. Let's see. Ken says, still need the tentacle pulling her top knot. Ooh, yes. I do. Yeah, we do want that. Yes, we do. Thank you for reminding me. Yes. All right, we want one of these tentacles kind of pulling on one of her things here, trying to take this off. Thank you for reminding me, good sir. Excellent. Have a couple little lines there, make sure. Have a little drop shadow here, so just going behind her leg a little bit. Yes. Now we're talking. There we go. Now we're talking. All right, cool. Okay, let me catch up with the chat real quick before we start the next piece. Kevin says Slave Nira meets Laura Croft. That's a possibility if we have enough time. Maybe I think we have enough time to work up the Slave Leia pretty good. So we'll see if she's meeting Nira Croft or not. But we're definitely going to work on Slave Nira. Larry says Nira X as Slave Leia. Yes, that's another vote for Slave Leia. Absolutely. All right, so I think that's going to be the one that we're working on next. We'll have her here. Another tentacle themed character. Ken says maybe Nira Croft saving Slave Malka. That's kind of cool. I like that idea too. Kevin says someone is crossing the streams. Some person says maybe in the background a panoply of anime characters, Lupin the Third, etc. We'll see. Yeah, we'll see how much time we have. We'll do the. Oh, thanks, Amber Glitch. Says nice, great work. Thank you, dude. Yeah, I'll leave this here until we start working on the next one here. We'll see how much time we have for background characters. We'll get the Slave Leia done in the middle, and then we'll start adding around and see how much time we have. That'll be good. Ken says, or Nira Croft holding Slave Malka's chain. There's a theme happening. Glitch says, Bill, you're so accommodating. I do my best. A lot of ideas fall on the floor, but like the ones that I try to get as many ideas to stick as we can. All right, so we've got a couple of pieces for tonight's auction. Let's start working on Slave Leia, and that's going to be our next little thing here. Let's see. It sounds good. Some person says, Octopus, I'll just take this off. She looks so constrained. She'll thank me. I'll go with whatever. You guys are awesome, dude. All right, let's do an awesome single character piece. I've got, between all the things that we've been talking about tonight, you guys have really kind of painted a picture in my head of how to pose Slave Leia Nira X here. And now I've got to get this pose out of my brain, or it will haunt me for the rest of my days. Yeah, I'll get a little sultry look on her face a little bit. She's thinking about some stuff. She's like, "How dare you come into my slave chamber?" Like most people think. Make sure I got enough lead in there. I like trying to ride that line between like really sexy but also cute. You know what I mean? Like she's pissed but she's happy, but she's sexy but she's mad. I got her smiling, so she says it's okay. She says everything is fine. Everything's a hokey dokey. There you go. Make sure I put her ear where it's supposed to be. She gets pissed off when I don't put her ear where it's supposed to be. Yeah, I should do a completely separate stream, like a silent stream of me inking the pieces, because the inking takes so much longer. But getting the ideas down, getting the pencils down is relatively faster compared to the inking part. There we go. I want to give her a badass little look here. That Slave Leia outfit has like a cool little headpiece. I always like doing like a little custom headpiece every time I draw like a Slave Leia piece. Always do a custom one, so that way you get specialized equipment. Maybe this time her braids are like really big. She's got big ass braids. Okay. I got that on there real quick. Just want to get the look on her face before I get too far. Let me catch up with the chat just a little bit so that way I don't fall too far behind. Let me see here. Okay, I'm doing pretty good. Let me see here. Let's see. Ken says maybe you could have Slave Jabba. No! Some person Jabba with a bra on. I could put Jabba back there, but like maybe with the bra hanging out of his mouth or something like that. Like he freaking just like he bit it off or something. That might be kind of sexy, but not Jabba with the bra on. Let's see. Chris Dehan says octopus strategically covering slave Nira. Like say slave Nira fast 5 times. See how you do it. That's but no, Christy Hand, your idea has merit, my friend. It's my brain is kind of playing with that a little bit. I think there's some value in that. I think there's something about that might actually stick. I think I like that. Let's see. Amerglitch says Jabba with the bra. I know, right? Kevin says some person we have had something like that once. Her name is Java. Oh, you remember Java? Yes, Java was fun. She was huge and sexy. Some person says, with someone frozen in carbonite, break the one character rule. I figured they'd count as furniture. It's a possibility. Let's see. Once we get slave Nira, I'm going to say Leah again. Once we get her kind of like positioned, let's see. Let's see if we could fit a carbonite somebody in there somewhere. Somebody sexy in a carbonite. Maybe that would be fun. I think that would be fun. Like a big chocolate bar of of somebody frozen there. Let's see. Ken says, yeah, but she was hot. Slave Jabba. Not so much. Armor Glitch says, sexy, cute, and naughty. That's right. That's right. Paul says, it's great. I like it. Let's see. It's sexy art in the way I like. I like sexy comic art, but only when it's done well like this. I don't like how Liefeld does it. Dude, I take that as a compliment, man. I'm glad that you like the artwork. That's awesome. That's awesome. We're here to have a good time, dude. That's what it's all about. Let's see. Armor Glitch says ASMR inking stream. I know, right? Just to be like the sound of the pen, just the sound of the brush, like on the paper. Fatang, what's up, dude? I'm glad you're hanging out with us, man. Yeah, we've got like another. We still got another half hour or so before we do our auction for the evening. We got a couple of fun pieces. The one that we just finished was crazy. I love it. I love it. And we got it like one little extra bit of auctioning sketches to go. We got a drunk Jawa and we got a Supergirl sketch. So we'll see how things go for the evening. Let's see here. Some person says the bra has one strap broken and she has to hand bra it. I kind of like that. I like things like that. Yep. Some person says hand bra. That's a term I learned here. It sounds like something done when riding a motorcycle. I'm glad you're learning things in our motley group. Our little band of pirates here in the old ship of Theseus. Or I don't know. I don't have sayings for us yet. I don't have any like rock solid sayings for us. But I do love our group. Let's see. Kevin says, remember, it's a hand bra, not a grope. A hand bra. But I like to draw the gropes. Christy Hen says, yes, octopus hand bra. Let's go. Larry says she could be sitting on the carbonite's face. That's always a possibility. Christiane says Mouse can pull that off. Ken says Kevin and Chris are both number one. The drama. No, someone has stolen number one, says Kevin. Whips out the Schwartz to fight off his place again. Some person says, psst, Argonauts. Draw tropes, not gropes. All right, let's get the rest of her body in position. Let's see, kind of like want her shoulders up like this. I want her kind of like squished in a little bit. Let's see how we go. Let's see how we do. Draw a little bit of her body pose here, and then I will go to the chat, make sure I don't fall too behind again. Get the general shapes where they're supposed to be. That way we're not breaking her back. There we go. I was thinking she was going to be doing the hand bra herself, but I think maybe the idea of the tentacles doing the hand bra is more fun. And remember what I said before, if it goes, if whoever wins the piece wants it to be pushed a little bit more not safe for work, then of course I'll just move the tentacles around a little bit. I'll move some things around. Yeah, I think maybe instead of Jabba, it's more like a tentacle monster is behind her. But we could still have the carbonite person. But who are we going to trap in the carbonite, I wonder? There we go. Make sure her hand is there. I like her having some big old braids. So I kind of like rough those in a little bit. You guys have painted a picture in my brain. And now I have to take it from my brain and put it on paper. It's paper brain transfer. Let's see, I want her ponytail to kind of go like this, like this. Always like the ponytail kind of like flying around. It's almost like giving myself notes. It's like the ponytail goes here. Draw a little bit of this in here. This is our octopus fella. He seems to be really happy. He's good with where he is right now. So draw in our kneecaps right here. Here, we'll draw him. We'll draw him like he's hanging from the ceiling. That'd be kind of cool. So far, so good. So far, so good. Okay, let me catch up with you guys. I got carried away and I let the chat get away from me. Holy crap, I got to scroll up way high. Some person says, what about the Sarlacc pit behind her? That's a possibility. With tentacles? You never know. I see. Some person says, by coincidence, that has tentacles. Yes. I know, right? What if I put the grate? You know, like where they drop people into the Rancor. Since we can't really put the Sarlacc pit here, but if I got the grates up here, like this is where they drop people into the Rancor pit, that's And that could be something. That could be something. I could draw like a big bone down here, like the one that Luca used to like keep the Rancor's mouth open. I'll draw it down there too. Don't think it won't. Amerglitch says, make sure you draw her Sarlacc pit. Divinity Comics, what's up, dude? Says, let's see, our Dead Sexy campaign is live on Kickstarter. Don't miss out on another amazing mouse cover. Yes, you know what? If somebody can, because I don't have the link. Actually, you know what? Maybe I could find a way to do the link real quick. I'm gonna try to find that link real quick because I got it saved on my Kickstarter page. But yeah, I've got a variant cover on Dead Sexy. So let me see if I could find it here real quick. Let's see, saved projects, blah, blah, blah. Dead Sexy number 2. Look at that, like blasting its goal. Just going. Let me see, let me copy the short link here. And I'm gonna throw it into the chat. I'll throw it into the chat real quick. Paste. There you go. I should be able to do that. Does that work? Yeah, there we go. Yeah, thanks, dude. Always super fun working with you guys. That's awesome. Yeah, definitely check out my my variant cover. Make me look good, man. Got to buy my variant cover. Ken says, but Ken says, hey, Mike. Absolutely. We all want to buy that variant cover, please, por favor. Let's see. Some person says, see, he's drawing a tentacle out of reflex. He didn't need a prompt. Mike says, yo, Ken. Awesome. Griff Tony, still lurking. You're allowed to lurk here, dude. in your many aliases. Let's see. Kevin says, "Why does this tentacle have suckers right on the sensitive bits?" Hey, don't stop. Courtney says, "Scribe in carbonite." Oh my God, that's perfect. Okay, scribe in carbonite. You heard it here first, guys. All right, let me make sure. I got somewhere for her foot to go. There we go. Just give myself a quick note on where that's going. All right, scribe and carbonite. Hell yeah. And if I put his hands up, kind of like Han Solo's hands, then it'll look like he's trying to grab her. All right, give myself a couple of notes here. Make sure get the little control panels on the side of the carbonite thing. That's a great idea. Oh my God, the way where she's got her hand is almost like she's like rubbing her finger like right on the temple of his forehead. Like, nice try, scribe. Nice try. That is a good idea. That's a perfect way to include scribe too. Love it. I'll make sure to tighten up his hands when we get over there. A lot of tightening up in the old inks parts. But we got to have these elements, man. We got to have these elements in here. That's awesome. And we're actually doing great on time. We're doing good. I'm glad you thought about that, Courtney. That's cool. We got Scribe. Okay, I'm not saying that this is Scribe with a boner, but this might be Scribe with an implied boner. All right, that gets her sitting on a giant pillow here. What a cool way to include Scribe. Hell yeah. A little bit of her dress coming on. Got the big pillow down here. I don't know what a big pillow's doing at the bottom of the Rancor thing, but she's comfortable. It's where she wants to be. Get this solid black over here. Dude, perfect. Obligatory drips. That's awesome, you guys. All right, let me catch up with the chat a little bit. You know, give the old wrist a little bit of a rest here. Let me see here. Scribe and Carbonite. That's perfect. Let's see. Armorglitch says, put Zen, the intergalactic ninja, in Carbonite. That would have been a good idea too. But Scribe is like he's such a perv. He's I'll definitely keep Zen in mind for next time. That poor guy. Let's see. Some person says, I see Chris mentioned tentacle. Kevin says, you naughty woman. That is the only way to shut him up. Double tentacle. Double the fun. Let's see. It's like the Gen Exacting cover, but with tentacles. Some person says, double the pleasure. Chris Dehan says, 10 tickles. Armorglitch says, those are beautiful boobas. Thank you, my friend. I've been practicing. Let's see. Divinity says, is Niobe Gaming LP. Hail, brother. Very cool. Very cool. Kevin says, Mercy and Carbonite. See, that's why I had to catch up sooner. But you know what? Scribe and Carbonite was such a good idea right off the bat that's what spoke. That's what spoke. Christiane says, Ken, that would be a cool recreation. Kevin says, Octo is keeping his eye on the prize. Is getting his own book now. I know, right? You might be more right than you know. Jelly will be so jelly. But not so jelly, because Jelly is the one getting his own story. We'll talk about that one soon as we're able, as soon as we get a little bit further along in that project. Ken says, let's see, I think we did that cover once, but it was Zen's hand. Yeah, we did do that. Yeah, it had Nira and I had Zen's hands coming out. We recreated that Janet Jackson cover. I'm trying to say that fast 10 times in a row. Some person says, Octo, the perverted octopus. He pretends not to know what he's doing, but he knows. Chris Deanne says, Nira and Octo. Kevin says, Octo, 8 times the fun. Some person saying hello. Awesome. Some person says, it could use some Star Wars-like backgrounds, high-tech things, maybe a droid or two. You know what? I wouldn't mind seeing, just to kind of try, just because I got this little space right here, and I love throwing R2 in the corners of drawings. I like drawing my droids. I'll put a little note here for myself that we're going to put R2 right over here. He's going to be a little bit surprised about what's going on here. Plus, R2 kind of like matches the theme of our octopus guy, having like the one eye. cool. Yeah, that's a good idea. Have a little bit more, just a tiny bit more Star Wars element, just to kind of like drive it home a little bit. Nice, nice. Oh, that's where I put the link. There you go. Okay. Wow, I do have a little ways to catch up. Oh my gosh, it's a little ways down. Okay, let me catch up with the chat. Let me catch up with you guys. I'm really behind. I got into the drawing. Let's see. I'll drop that link in other places. Oh, thanks, dude. Yeah, definitely drop it wherever you can. I appreciate it, and I know Mike appreciates it. That's awesome. Ken says Chet would love this piece and be simultaneously appalled. Aha! You have awakened the Chet. I knew Chet was hiding in the shadow. Well, not hiding, but he's in the shadows, watching. He knows what's going on. He is all-knowing here in the studio. Ken says, "Hey, he's here." Some person says maybe a lightsaber and another tentacle, like he's saving her. Yes, Chet is here, my friends. Ken says the previous one. Ah, he's here. Everyone on your best behavior, you guys. Ken says Courtney. Courtney said she needs chains. Oh, that is good. That is good. She does need some chains. Let's add some chains to this here. I want to add some sexy chains. That's a good idea. All right, I'm gonna add these chains. I'll do it kind of fast because I don't want to fall too far behind on the. I kind of like the idea of the chains just kind of drop it in here real quick. You see what I'm. Had to drop them in between there real quick, so it'd be sexy chains. There we go. And maybe the chains are continuing down here. I'm going to have the chains kind of in Scribe's hands. like he wishes this was his evening. However, he's apparently frozen in carbonite. All right, so we got the general path of the chains there, kind of like dropping in there, going right behind here, and poor Scribe, so close but yet so far. Chet says, "What did I miss, Ken? Got to catch him up. We got a couple of drawings here. I think we're just about done with this one. These are the two drawings of the evening. I'm gonna catch Chet up visually with the two drawings that we've got, and plus. Remember, guys, we're going to have like an extra auction, like a little quick one for these two drawings. We're going to give these two away as a set. So we got a drunken Jawa, and we got a quick Supergirl sketch. And if it goes for like something like real expensive, they'll go just like this. But if they go for a little bit more, maybe I'll ink the Supergirl so that way she's all complete. That's going to be our bonus. That'll be our bonus for the evening. Very cool. Saying hi to person. Very cool. Kevin says, would she also need manacles too? I don't know. I like the chains hanging from her neck. Some person says, and a helmet hanging off of Scribe's lightsaber. That'd be funny. Chet says, don't make it as a boner. Make it as a popsicle stick frozen. Oh my gosh, that would be funny. How would I do that? Let me think. It could be a popsicle stick just sticking out of the ice. Dude, that's too freaking funny. There you go. It's coming out of the carbonite like that. Oh shit. All right. That made me laugh, dude. Kevin says, scribe with a, well, some beings react differently to the cold. Is turned into a popsicle. Ken says, I love the evolution of Scribe from sacrificial side character to resident pervert. Yeah, that's his story arc. That's the way it's happened. Now we saying hi, very cool. Christiane says both of these came together so fast. No, I'm glad these actually came together like with just the right amount of time, considering how many elements. There's a lot of elements in these, so I'm glad that we had enough time to do it before we had to stop for the evening. It's good. It's good. I'm glad we got all these elements in there. Some person is sharing our link to our secret Patreon page. That's where we like to post all of our more spicy materials. And a lot of the materials on there are pieces that we've done right here on the show that we've made mods for, and I've added full color to. So I try to update that page as often as I can. And if you support that page, then it's like, it helps out the studio a little bit. And it helps. It's a little clubhouse for us to kind of like see the different pieces that we've done over time. Very, very cool. Kevin says, I want to hear more about that project. That's R6D9. Christy Hen says, nice. Maurice, what's up, dude? Maurice says, hey, everyone. Missed the notification. Glad to have made it for this part so far. Oh, I'm glad you're here, dude. Yeah, these are the two pieces. This is as far as these pieces have gone for the evening. Same rules apply as all of our previous episodes. Whoever wins the pieces will get the fully inked artwork, and whoever wins the pieces also can opt for a slightly more not safe for work version of it, or you can have it inked just like this. You just need to let me know in the chat. Let's see, some person is sharing some more links. Awesome. That's always a necessary thing. Very cool. Thank you so much, dude. I do appreciate that. That's really important. Some person says hello. Very cool. Chet saying, so what was the other piece? Oh, okay. So we got both pieces here. I'm barely catching up with the chat, so I'm getting closer. Chain of Fools. Very cool. Let's see. Ken says it has ENX pulling Nira by a leash, sort. Kevin says the other piece is normal Cyber Angels and an anime version. Yes. Marie says there's Kevin, happy about the drawing bondage theme. Me happy about it, and here I thought it would appeal to someone else. Chet says safe this round then. Yep. Kevin says, I am simple, Maurice. Boobs make me happy. Let's see, Maurice says, dibs on Drunken Jawa. That would be epic for my bar downstairs. Oh, cool. Chet says, and there you go, my effort to the cause. Madness, what's up, dude? Glad you're hanging out with us. Yeah, the episode's almost done. We're just about to start the auction as soon as I catch up at the bottom of the chat here. Glad you're hanging out with us, dude. Always good to say hi to Pops. So let's see. Some person is sharing Cat Mouse's links to her website. Very, very cool. Thank you, dude. Oh, checking out Armor Glitch. Very, very cool. Yeah, please do share those links. Want everybody to be connected here, dude. For sure. The Madness Entertainment Group. Please check out the links there too. Very cool. All right, Chet says, I'm not sure about having Little Tiny on that rope or not. Oh, we could add a Little Tiny in there somewhere. We do have like 2 more minutes before we start the auction. But who would be hanging off of it? Let me see here. You gave me the idea of having a Little Tiny hanging off of this leash. But who is the Little Tiny gonna be? I'm not sure what's going on with there. Why is Siri doing things? There we go. I don't know what I said that activated Siri on. Anyways, maybe he just wanted to be part of the show. He just wanted to be part of things. Mari says there are fan ranking on the page now. That's new. Bill wants to know the special people here, and I'll include myself. Is that what that XP thing is? You know, we were asking each other before, like, just what that, or like what that was. Have no idea. Rankings. Weird. Paul says the link already came up. Oh, got you. Thanks, dude. All right, so I got somebody here hanging. We already have ENX pulling on this leash. Very possible that this could be a little tiny ENX. I think that's who this is going to be. So we got ENX pulling on anime Nira. And then we've got Nira as a slave Leia. Some person says that's right. Anime Malka. There's your reminder. I'm gonna write it down right here. I'm gonna write it down because that's a winner. We have to do that one. Marie says a little tiny Tarzaning off that rope. Chet says and Athalia on top, stomping on it, stomping on little tiny ENX. Oh, that's a good idea. They always like to cause trouble. I like that. Get Thalia's up here. Thalia's always got a thing. She does not like cyber angels. And Thalia's gonna let them know. There we go. I always like drawing Thalia's shadow wings. I love those things. Just kind of box in, block in where it's supposed to go. I'll tighten it up really good with the inks when I get there. It's like, no! It's a battle royale! And it's all happening on the leash. There you go. Let me set that up there. That way we can see both pieces. Very, very, very cool. All right, Mari says, I love the Orchid post you shared. Love it. Oh, I know. Orchid is coming, dude. Orchid is on her way. Chet says, now I'll bet on that one. There's a battle royale happening on there. Marie says, another badass babe from Bill. Thanks, dude. Some person says, ENX, I'm seeing a tiny me again. I need a vacation. All right, guys. Well, we're going to do these one at a time because I'll get confused if we do it all at once. So the first one we drew tonight was the anime Nira X with ENX, and now the little tiny battle royale happening in the middle. So we're going to start with that one as far as posting goes. Now, anybody here for the first time, the way this always goes, let me put on the thing here. This is auction time. Right at midnight, we like to auction off the piece that we've been working on all night, coming up with ideas for. Whoever wins the piece, obviously it'll be fully inked. You have the option of saying make it more not safe for work or keep it just the way it is. Totally cool. And then when the auction is over, whoever wins the piece, basically all it is sending a PayPal to this address. That's just my Gmail address, billmossart@gmail.com. And just make sure in the notes of of your PayPal to include your mailing address and stuff, and that's it. We're all good to go. So I'm going to leave the little TikTok thing there, and we're going to start this. We're going to leave it up for 5 minutes. So at 12:06, we're going to do a 10-second countdown. I'll do it in the chat, and I am doing it in the popped out actual YouTube chat, so it's not going to be like super delayed like it was before. So it's going to basically count down as I'm talking. I hope. There's always a delay with my voice, so that's the reason we use the chat, so that way we can always scroll back up the chat and make sure who actually won the piece, so that way there's no confusion. Kevin in the room with, Kevin says Orchid Post. What did I miss? All right, Kevin is in the room with $1. Thanks, Kev. I'm gonna write that down. I'm gonna write these down a little bit. That way I don't have to scroll back up. But we'll see how everything is going. Maury says, "You gonna make me go for 69, Kevin?" Now remember, the only rule when you're bidding on the piece is just to type the word "bid" next to your number, so that way I know that it's a real bid. Kevin says, "I will do the 69 unless you want to actually bid on that. I won't make you bid anything." All right, Chris Dehan is in the room with 5. Thanks, dude. I'll just write a couple of these down. Paul in the room with 20. Thanks so much, Paul. You're awesome, dude. Let's see, it's 12:02. We'll let it go till 12:06. So we got a couple minutes left. And then we will do a 10-second countdown on the anime Nira piece. Chris Dehan in the room with 25. Thanks, dude. Ken was in here also 25, but Chris beat you to it. Paul is in the room with 30. Thanks so much, Paul. The Don. Hey, what's up, dude? Don says, liked and shared this out, Bill. Have a good one, bro. Thanks so much, man. I appreciate it. I'm glad you're hanging out with us here for a couple minutes. That's awesome, dude. Chris Dehan in the room with 35. I just saw that. You actually bid 35 before the thing, and I just didn't see it. So there we go. Cool. Ken Zazer in the room with 40. Thanks, dude. Paul with a $45 bid. Thanks, bro. Chris Dehan back in the house with 55. Chet says, I'm bringing the power. 125. Thanks, Chet. You're awesome, bro. Chet's like, no, let's get serious. Let's get serious here, bros. Ken's like, God damn. Kevin is like, I can't even get in my 69. Paul is congratulating you. Good going, Chet. Awesome. We got 2 minutes left. You guys are awesome. And we still got 2 pieces to go. So I know people are pacing it out. So it's totally cool. Chet says, you had that chance, Kev. You had that chance. Kevin's like, well, you did make her ENX. You knew it would happen. Got 1 more minute left. Chet is the big man in the house right now with 125. Awesome. Chris Dehan in the room with 130. Awesome, bro. Chet says 145, my good man. My good sir. Less than a minute left. And I will do my countdown. I'll even do it in Spanish. Maybe partially in Spanish. I'll use a translator. All right, looks like it's 12:06. We're going to start our 10-second countdown. I am going to do the 10-second countdown in the normal YouTube chat, just so you guys know. I was doing it from the StreamYard thing, and it was taking forever, and it wasn't really working out so good. So, Chet is asking, let me see here. Can I get rain in the can I get in the rain background? Can I get in the rain background? Yes, I will definitely put rain in the background if you desire, my friend. That is all good. Very, very cool. All right, I'm going to start the 10-second countdown right now. Here we go. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. Oh, I see something popping in. Kevin Dehan with a 150 bid. You're awesome, dude. He's like, I've got the power. You can't stop me. All right, Christy Hand in the room with 150. You're awesome, dude. We're going to continue the countdown now. If I get interrupted again, I'll start at the 3 mark. 4, 3, 2. Oh, Chet with 165. I see he just popped in right there. 165. Awesome, awesome. All right, I'm going to start the countdown again at 3 because Chet interrupted the countdown. Anybody interrupts at the very last second, I got to start at the 3 mark. So 3, 2, 1. And I'm going to mark it 000 to mark it as sold. Sold. Let me see. Let me scroll up. Looks like Chet has got this. Please, everybody, congratulate Chet. That was awesome. The drama was thick. Kevin says, congrats to Chet. You're awesome, dude. All right, I'm going to write Chet's name on the back of this one. Very, very cool, man. Thanks, guys. You guys are awesome. Chris Dehan says, congrats to Chet. Woo! Paul says, it's definitely worth at least that. You're awesome, dude. Maurice says, congrats. Chet says, it's Bill's fault for putting ENX in there. Very, very cool. Very, very cool. We got a good group. Good group. All right, let me set this piece up here so we're nice and safe. Ken says, congrats to you, my friend. Awesome, awesome. All right, let me turn this sheet over, and we're going to start the auction now for the Slave Leia Nira X piece. It's going to be 12:10, so at 12:15, we're going to stop and do a 10-second countdown for this piece. Ken says, I like restarting the bid at 3 gives peeps a chance. Yeah, a little chance, little sniper chance, because there's a delay with my voice, regardless, just because of the nature of the thing. And then at least with doing the thing with the chat, like it's very solid, like the pace that they're coming in. So Ken says this piece, it's on its side, is totally porn. All right, Kevin is in the room right now with $1. Thanks, dude. And Chris Dehan in the room with 69. That's what I'm talking about. Someone has captured the 69 bid. All right, we're going till 12:15. It's 12:10 right now, so 12:15. We're going to do a 10-second countdown. I knew it. Kevin says you stole my 69. Chris Dehan is in the room with $69 right now. He's in the room with Kevin's 69 right now. All right, I'm gonna turn this on its side. Yeah, I think you're right. It's totally porn on its side. We have a running bet that everything I ever draw, it's porn if you turn it on its side. Chris Dehan back in the room, but with 69. Some person says, come on now, you can always mortgage the house to win a bid. I know, right? It's just a mortgage. We need more things in the studio. We need more paper and pens. We got to print more books. Kevin says, have to be smart and save money for Comic-Con. This is true. All right, we got 4 minutes. Oh, we got 3 minutes left. And then we will go on to our bonus round, which should be a nice inexpensive round. I think that one's going to go. I think that one will go fast. Kevin's back in the room with 76. You're awesome, dude. Thanks, dude. You're awesome, dude. You're pretending I'm at Comic-Con to be there in spirit. That means a lot to me, man. And you know it does. Christy Hen says Comic-Con is amazing. It's such a good time. Christy Hen back in the room with 83. Thanks, dude. Slave Nera. This one's going to take a while to ink up. Got a lot of things going on in this one. This is going to be fun, though. I love it. Love it. You guys paint in my brain. I paint on the paper. I'm just a messenger. I'm just here to bring the ideas. All right, a little less than 2 minutes, and then we'll be good to go. I'm glad you guys are hanging out with me on a Sunday, man. I know we usually do this on Saturday. And I got home too late from Richmond yesterday from the convention. And man, I was just wasted. I was so tired. Passed out like Buck Rogers. All right, almost a minute left, and then we'll be good to go. Some person says you need a life-size standee of yourself. So Kevin and Ken can always be with you. Use the force. Use the pencil, Bill. The boobs will always be with you. As you can see, I'm just a little bit delirious. But this was nice, dude. It's like, this is so nice to be able to hang out and chill and do some drawing and have fun with you guys. So this will make Monday a lot nicer to creep into. All right, a little less than 1 minute, and then we'll go ahead and call it on this one. We'll do a 10-second countdown like we did last time. I'm glad they taught me how to put the how to pop out the chat so I could do the countdown on the thing. Larry in the room with 100. You're awesome, bro. Thanks, bro. Very cool, man. That carbonite. The carbonite is worth it. I must have the carbonite. All right, looks like our time is up. I'm going to go ahead and switch over to the popped out chat so I could do a 10-second countdown, and we will go from there, my friends. All right, starting the countdown at 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. Oh, Chris Dehan in the room. I got an interruption. Chris Dehan is in a room with 130. And Larry is back in the room with 135. Thanks, dude. You're awesome, man. All right, continuing the countdown now from 5, 4, Kevin says, "Well, damn, somebody wants it more than I can justify." All right, going from 4. Let me get back out to the other chat. 3, 2, 1. And I'll be marking it 000 to mark it as sold. Oh, I see. Chris Dehan came in just under the sold. Look at you, bro. 150. And scroll up to make sure that that's what it is. Kevin Green says, I didn't do the 3 seconds. You know what? It did interrupt me at the 1. You're absolutely right. It did interrupt me at the 1. Are we going to do the 3 seconds again? Because that was the rule, right? Kevin is saying that I didn't do the 3 seconds. And he did bid at the 2-second mark. So I think it's only fair that we stick to our rules. You're right. You're right, Kevin. Let's do the 3 seconds. We're going to start it now at 3, 2, 1. And I'm marking it. Oh, snap. Larry back in the room with 200. Let me write this down so that way we know what we're doing. All right, so I got to do the 3 seconds again. Now, Kevin reminded me about the 3-second rule. All right, let me do this again. You're awesome, Larry. Thanks, dude. The drama is thick. All right, starting with 3, 2, 1. All right, I'm marking it 000 as sold. And now it is officially sold. All right, we did the 3 seconds. You're right, the 3-second mark is the rule. Larry, please, everybody, congratulate Larry. You're absolutely right. Thank you so much for bidding, Chris, on the 150. We did have to redo the 3-second thing. You're right. You're right. Larry in the room with 300. Please, everybody, congratulate Larry. That's awesome, dude. Thanks so much, Larry. Kevin says, congrats. Awesome, awesome. Ken says, congrats, Larry. Your first stream and auction win. Awesome, dude. Christy Hand says, congrats. You guys are awesome, dude. Paul says, you guys are awesome. Maybe next week I will skip a con and budget to bid. Fantastic. Larry says, thanks, but not my first. That's right. That's right. Larry's been here. Some person says, Larry did fine. Yes, indeed. Courtney says, congrats. Such a great one. Awesome, awesome. Maurice says, congrats. Perfect, dude. Perfect. I'm going to write Larry's name on the back of this one. This is all yours, dude. And Larry, if you want me to push this one either not safe for work or leave it just like this one, you can leave that comment right in the chat, or you can message me privately, however you want to do it. But you can just say just not safe for work or as is, and that'll put the note on the back of this, so that way I know. Ken says, "Oh, sorry, Larry. I thought you said earlier it was your first stream. My bad." Okay, yeah, Ken just misunderstood. All good, dude. All right, I'm going to set this one aside for a moment because we do have a bonus. We have a bonus one, and the bonus one is a set. So let me put this over here where it's nice and safe. This one is a set. Both of them are together. They're not separate. Let me see. Let me put this pieces over here. Make sure that they're safe. Thanks so much, Larry. Awesome job on the bidding. Very, very cool, dude. All right, got that one written down. Got that one written down. Cat Mouse just showed up in the studio. She brought me mac and cheese. All right, let's see. I have to keep track of. Let me keep track of the bidding. Let's see. Congrats. Okay, Larry says as is, Bill. Perfect, dude. I will leave it as is. Thank you so much, Larry. You're awesome, dude. All right, Maurice is in the room with 1. Thank you so much, dude. Let me get down. Let me catch up with everybody. Niobe bidding with 15. Thanks, bro. Pete in the room with 16. Thanks, dude. Maurice is in the room. Oh, Maurice got the 69. Hello. Maurice in the room with 69. Oh, sorry, Larry. Maurice already got you with 69, but thank you for your bid. Larry's back with 75. Thanks so much, dude. Very, very cool. Maurice back in the room with 80. Thanks, bro. Pete says, he's like, wow, 69 right away for funsies. I guess we're all screwed. Supergirl needs some booze too. I know, right? If I'm going to stay accurate, it's going to have to stay that way. She's going to have to get some booze as well. She needs a drink.
I brought him mac and cheese.
Look, I have genuine mac and cheese to keep me alive.
Genuine.
Genuine.
What do you want to drink?
Okay, thank you. I see Maurice says Drunken Jawas called to me. I think you said it right on the printer.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Mac and cheese printer.
Mac and cheese printer. I'm printing mac and cheese.
Oh, that'd be fun.
All right, we've got about 3 more minutes. Maurice is saying hello to Kat.
Hi.
Kat is back here. She's exhausted just like me from doing the show.
Oh, yeah.
We had like 2 shows in a row. Let's see. Kevin says being screwed by Supergirl and a 69 isn't a bad way to go. Some person says Kat making a grand entrance. It's the perfect entrance with mac and cheese. Larry says 3D printed mac and cheese. Paul says don't feed Bill after midnight. Oh, Ken is asking Kat, how's your mom? Oh, did she leave? She was right behind. Oh, she went downstairs to get a drink. So I'll update you on Kat's mom. Kat's mom came down to visit for a few days, and it ended up being a week and a half because she went to the ER, had a little something going on with her belly. Took care of it with antibiotics for the most part. So now we had to drive her home. It took us 40 hours worth of driving to drive her all the way back to Indiana. And so she's safe. Everything's fine. She's going to have a bunch of scans and things just to make sure that nothing else is going on. But as far as we know, she's feeling better. So yeah, thank you, dude, for checking up on her. Awesome, dude. Maurice says, you know it's Kevin. Pete says, fair enough. I just wanted a fair shake. All right, we've got, oh my gosh, we have like a minute left. It's going to be 12:25. That was going to be the 5 minutes. So got about a minute left. Kevin says, Supergirl giving us a shake. Where is the stripper pole? All right, let's see. I think if I scroll up, I think Maurice has got the big bid in the room right now with 80. Yep, I believe so. All right, so Maurice is a big man in the room right now. A little less than a minute left to go, and we'll do our 10-second countdown. I'm over here getting mac and cheese. Oh, thanks, dude. Naomi says that Supergirl is money. Thanks, bro. Kevin says Mighty Mo has the 80. All right, looks like our time is up. I'm going to go ahead and switch to the popped out chat, and we're going to do the 10-second countdown. All right, starting with 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, I'm marking it 000 to mark it as sold. Thank you so much, everybody. And we are sold. Oh, thanks, Pete. If this goes for less than 100, it's a crime. I'm going to scroll up just to be sure. I think Maurice got this one. Let me see. I believe so. Correct me if I'm wrong, but Maurice has the winning bid. at 80. Thank you so much, dude. I'm gonna write your name down on that right there. You're awesome, bro. Let me see here. I'm gonna make sure I'm not missing any comments here. Yeah, Kevin says no crime, just a good deal and a steal. So that is a crime. Maurice says, I'm the Count. Oh, Kevin typed it. Yes. Please, everybody congratulate Maurice. This is awesome. We had a really, really great night. Everybody congratulate Maurice. He did really, really good. That's awesome, too. Christy Hen says, congrats. Maurice saying thanks. Awesome. You guys made this a really, really fun weekend. All right, I'm going to put these here for Maurice. And I'm going to put the other two pieces here so that way we see what the loot was for this evening. Larry says, grats to Maurice. All right, got that written down right there. Cool, cool. Paul says, awesome bids, everyone. I agree. Everybody did so good. A lot of drama between everybody. A couple of snipers in the woods. Some person says, congrats to all. Very, very cool. Maurice is thanking everybody. Thank you so much. Kevin says, oh, what was a package deal for those two? That is a steal. Yeah, that was a package deal for these two. And it did go for 80, Maurice. So Maurice, if you want the Supergirl to be inked, please let me know in the chat right now. If you could, please. It could be, I could leave it in pencil just like this, or I can ink it for you. Be happy to. We did have a lot of fun with this tonight. Some person says, have fun with the booty and the art. Paul says, is there a record bid night? We've had some amazing ones. We've had some big ones. I couldn't tell you exact numbers, a few $100s, close to maybe 4 or 5, something like that. But I don't remember exact numbers, but I remember some bigger nights. It all depends. It comes and goes. It all depends on what everybody's having fun with. Some person says, I don't know if that's a record. I think I've seen it go above 200 one time. Yeah, for sure. Kevin says, yes, Paul, over 800. That's right. It was over 800. Yep. Kevin says, that one, that Chit bet on. Yes, that was a big night. That was so fun, dude. Oh, let me take off the little banner thing. I don't need that up there right now. We're good. Ken says, Chet will sometimes come in with the big bid if it has ENX or Thalia. Yeah, because he inspired ENX to exist in the first place. And Thalia is actually Chet's creator-owned character. She has like a pretty big part to play in the Cyber Angel world. So that is actually super important. You guys are awesome. All right, let me see here. I'm going to look at this. All right, look, we did really good. Okay, let me put this over here. I'm just organizing my buttons and my stuff. Thank you so much, guys, for hanging out, having a fun weekend with me. I hope that your week treats you well. Let's see. Chet is saying mostly Thalia for sure. Yeah, absolutely, dude. That's your girl right there. Some person says, I think if it's something going to print, it gets a higher bid. That's true, and a few of those are going to print. And there's a couple. There's the next issue. I've got 2 different Club Corrupt projects coming up that involve the more spicy art. One is just a sequel to the regular Club Corrupt issues that we already started, so there'll be a number 2 coming. But there's also going to be a Club Corrupt series coming out that's just called Stories. So it's gonna have like like cool stories in it. So I will tell you more about that when we get closer to actually having a Kickstarter / thing for them. Paul says, I hope to get all of these streams from now on. Yeah, Paul, please hang out with us. We try to make it as best we can. We try to do it on Saturdays. And it's we always try to do them on Saturdays at 10 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So that's we do it on Sunday because I was too tired from the show from driving back home yesterday, so I ended up passing out. So that's the reason that we're doing it on Sunday today. Thank you, some person, for sharing the links. Always appreciated. Let me check something real quick. Awesome. Thank you guys so much. You know what? Enjoy the week. I'm just about to wrap up. Let's see. Maurice says, "Come hang out, Paul. It's a blast in Bill's stream." Thanks, Maurice. Vote of confidence. Yeah, we have a good group here, man. Everybody likes each other. Everybody gets along. We have a good time. Like, it's nothing but arts, comics, and jokes. You know, we have a great time, and we get some cool artwork. And yeah, man, it's the best. It's the best. I really look forward to it every Saturday, and I'm glad that everybody else is enjoying it too. Some person says it's a secret Patreon, so tell others about it. I know it doesn't leave this room. Damn it. All right, guys. Well, I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up. I'm going to grab myself a little bit of a nap. Super excited that I had enough energy to actually have the show tonight, and you guys had some awesome ideas. Made it super fun for me. Hope that you guys had fun too. And hopefully next week, Saturday, 10 o'clock, we'll be here and we'll do our normal thing. You guys have a good one. Have a great night. I'll talk to you guys soon. And bye-bye. Muchas gracias.
Good night, Seattle.